Boom, we're live. Quick one this morning. Wanted to say hello. Anybody out there yet? Doesn't look like it. See if anybody pops in. Once again, a like pops up before any comments or people. Very interesting. Black Kite, hello. What's cracking? Pardon me, trying to get my voice opened up here. It is morning here in the great Pacific Northwest, and I'm happy to report that the rains have come. Usually I'm one of these people that fights against the end of the summer. I want to go swimming, and I want to keep, just keep having the nice, hot, warm weather for swimming and disc golf and all that kind of good stuff. But I didn't get to do enough swimming this year as it is, and then also with these nasty wildfires, it's just really, really, really nice and a big relief that the rains have finally returned. And they're doing a lot of good already on the Eagle Creek fire, and probably lots of other fires in the area, and it's just good news all around. The plants can use it. Got this really dry, scorched landscape, and I think it's just a good thing to kind of return to normal here and have some rain come in the fall, because it's just been a bone dry summer, which it usually is, but it also stayed very hot, very dry for a sustained period of time. It's really dried out the forest and made for a lot of issues with the forest fires. I believe in the gorge right now, they are no longer actively fighting fire. They're basically just working more on structural things, such as repairing damage to structures, and also there's a lot of work that needs to be done now to make the roads safe from falling trees, and I think there's a landslide danger now because of all the damage to the trees, and the root system holds the whole hillside together. So yeah, there's still a ridiculous amount of work to be done, but I don't think they're actively fighting the fire anymore at this point. If the rains continue for a few days like they're supposed to, that will basically be enough to kind of stop it from spreading, and it will eventually kind of start to peter out. It's much more under control. It's like 40% under control now, or so, and that's just great news. It ended up being quite large, up to about 45,000 acres, which is insane. But you know, what are you going to do? It happened, and there's a bunch of people put their lives on the line to go out there and fight it, and they did a tremendous job and halted its westward progress from getting any closer to Portland. Saved one of my favorite go-to courses, Rooster Rock State Park. Dabney State Park stayed completely clean, and a couple other places may have been damaged further east from that, but I'm not exactly sure. Hello, who's out there? Anybody out there? Anybody listening? Say hello. Leave me a comment. Tell me I'm boring. I don't care. Let me know what's up. I hadn't really planned on going live this morning. It just kind of happened. Fabian, greetings from Finland. Played some disc golf with my girlfriend today, a little course in a sports park. Then we played some catch on the open field practice drives. That's wonderful. Thanks so much for stopping by. Sounds like a great day. Greetings from Portland, Oregon, here in the United States of America. Xander, good morning. What's up? You caught me. You caught me live. Hello, fumble. It is 9:05. I don't have a lot of time to talk this morning, but I wanted to pop in and say hello. Love the look of the new DD bag, says Xander. Yeah, dude, the Trooper is a great bag. I think those things are going to sell like crazy. For $39.99, you really can't go wrong with that thing. I have switched to it for the time being, see how it goes. But I really like it. It works super well. And it's nice and compact, relatively lightweight, and it literally held all the discs that I had in my other larger, a little bit heavier bag, the Gateway backpack that I've been using for years. I was able to just smoothly transition everything out of that bag and into the Trooper with no real issue. It has a little bit less storage space overall, but it's really not a deal breaker for me, and I like the really slim kind of compact form factor. I will say the Trooper overall is a little bit bigger than you probably expect. I know I was a little bit surprised by the size of it, and not that it's big, but it looked, I kind of expected it to be like real small, or you could fit like 10 to 12 discs in the main compartment or so. And I have a full 15 in there with room to spare, plus 3 in the putter pocket. I mean, 18 to 20 discs is plenty for most players, I feel. And yeah, and once again, I think those are just gonna sell like crazy, and I'm stoked to have one. It's so inexpensive, like you could literally just buy 2 of those things in 2 different colors and kind of swap them out to kind of put wear on both of them at the same time to let them last a little bit longer. Stick one in your closet and just have it at the ready if you ever wear out the first one. I mean, they're so inexpensive. It's a pretty great deal. I think almost anybody could afford $40. You know, if you put a few dollars aside out of each paycheck or whatever, you can get yourself a Trooper before too long. I think it should hold up quite well. Xander, I saw your comment this morning on the video. Just to clarify a couple things about the Trooper. It's not a 64-ounce hydro flask. That would be much bigger. It's just a steel bottle, but it is 64-ounce steel bottle. So if you have like a Nalgene or something like that, you'll be able to fit it with no problem with room to spare. Or if you're somebody who needs a lot of water, you can get yourself one of those clean canteens, 64-ounce growler size. It's non-insulated and it'll fit in your Trooper. So that's pretty sweet. Also, I definitely should have probably showed the bottom of the bag, but there's not much to see there. There's no rails or plastic or anything. It seems a little bit more reinforced, and it does have some shape to it to hold it flat on the ground. And the balance so far seems good. I'm not really sure. I have not played around with it yet. I've just loaded it up and carried it around my apartment a little bit and checked out the features and stuff. So it seems like it'll stand up okay, but we'll find out when I get it on the course. But all the weight from the discs is right in the bottom of the bag. So it may tip over, it may not, but it seems like it's pretty solid. I've picked it up and dropped it on the floor a couple times, and it didn't seem to tip. Thank you for the show and the podcast. Good stuff. Has the air cleared out there yet? We have some great courses here, both here in Finland and in Stockholm, where I study. Ever been in Europe? Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. It's really cool to have European viewers, fans of my channel. I think that's really awesome and very cool. Very surreal. Not something that I ever expected would happen. But yeah, the air has cleared out here quite a bit. It was very, very bad. One of the live streams I went live, and I was really kind of scared and upset because the air was so bad. It was just terrible. And then it mostly cleared. We were good for about a week or so, and then I think a westward wind kind of swept through the gorge and blew a bunch of smoke back into Portland for about a day or two. That was really nasty. We left. I left the house the other day, and it actually smelled and like kind of the breathing actually felt worse than the previous time when it was here right in the height of the fire. But now the air has cleared quite a bit, and as you can probably see, the rains have returned, and they're doing a lot of great work in the gorge, helping out the firefighting effort quite a bit. So thanks for your support. Thanks for your concern. I have not been to Europe. I would love to. I'm not a big traveler, nor do I have a lot of expendable income to buy plane tickets across the world and stuff like that. But if there's anywhere in the world that I would like to go to, it would be Germany, and where one of my best friends has moved to Germany in the last several years now. He's been living there. I would love to go there, and absolutely would love to visit Sweden and Finland and that whole Scandinavian region. Just looks amazing. I'd love to get out there and meet some folks and play some disc golf and see some of those courses out there. Just tremendous stuff. But yeah, who knows if it'll happen or not. I can hope, but I'm not really sure. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns, rants? Let me hear them. Hit me up. I'm running short on time here. I probably got another 15 minutes or so. Funky Town in the house. What's up? Funky Town thanks Black Kite for his awesome reviews. Got my coffee. I have a weird issue with coffee where I sweeten it with honey because I can't really do it when it's unsweetened coffee. I've never been able to enjoy that, and I try to stay away from refined sugar as I can. And so I go with honey in my coffee. I do some honey and some cinnamon generally. I have this weird issue where I'll add honey to it, I'll stir it up, I'll taste it, and then the other it needs a little more. I'll add a little more honey to it, stir it up again, and now it's just horrendously too sweet, and I can't really drink it or enjoy it. I'll usually still try to go through it because I don't like to waste it, and I don't want to make another cup or buy another cup. But I do that all the time. This morning I tried to avoid that pitfall, and I feel like I maybe didn't put enough honey in it, and it's not quite as good as I would like. But what are you going to do? Talk about a first world problem, you know what I'm saying? Dark roast guy. Fair enough, Funky Town. This is probably pretty dark as well. This is some legit Portland kind of hipster coffee, and it's no joke. It's got some kick to it for sure. If you like, there are times where I'll go there and I'll have one cup and then I'll like drink most of it and I'll top it off and bring it back over here to work. And man, it gets a little bit too much for sure. I've gone too deep with it where it's just too strong. And for the most part, I am not a huge like super dark roast kind of guy, and I really actually don't really like this coffee as much as you might think since I drink it most days. But it's like less than a block away from where I work, so it's just easy to grab it. Calvin Monroe, good morning. What's happening with everybody? Anybody got any new plastic that they're testing? Let me know. I'm all set for another review to be posted on Fresh Plastic Friday. It will come with a kind of collaboration giveaway with another YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. I'm pretty stoked on it. I think you guys will be happy. Give you the opportunity to win 2 different discs from 2 different channels at the same time. Separate giveaways, but they'll both be live at the same time, so you have 2 different chances to win. So stay tuned for that for Fresh Plastic Friday. More to come with that on Friday morning. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out where to go next with my testing. I have a couple things that I have in mind to go to next, but as you can see with these rains coming, it may kind of halt my forward progress, and I may not be able to continue posting every single Friday. We'll see. We'll see how it goes through the winter. It's going to depend on the time I have and all that kind of stuff, but I would hope to. I'd like to. We'll see. Tons of plastic still left in my queue, though, that I have to test. Welcome anytime, says Fabian. I've been to the United States twice, Florida and the state of Washington. Would love to go again. Sometimes, especially now when I play disc golf, as you said, flights can be expensive. Yeah. Well, I'm in Oregon, so I'm not very far from the state of Washington. Just above me here in Portland, over the river, and you're in there to Vancouver, Washington. Jonathan Hernandez, good morning. What's up? Calvin's always making sure he's got coffee before he goes discing with his boys. Fair. It's a good call. I like it for the mornings. I'm not a giant coffee drinker. Like, it's not going to really hurt my feelings too much if I don't have it. And I certainly don't feel like I need it to like get my morning started, that sort of thing. I did decaf for quite a while, in fact, and that's just fine with me. I'm not a big stimulant caffeine type guy, but I do enjoy it for the most part. I like a nice latte, but I don't want to pay for it, so I'll usually just get a drip. It's a little cheaper. Xander asked, do I play any courses with golf carts near you? If so, which ones do you like? I have not. That would be fun. I'm not sure of any like converted golf course layouts in my area that have golf carts and that sort of thing that I've ever seen.
Can you get to the basement?
Yeah, hold on a second. Be right back, guys. Almost there. Hold on. Coming back. I didn't leave. This is the kind of excitement you can only get from a Morning with Disc Golf Nerd live stream. So yeah, no golf courses with golf carts. I've played actual golf with golf carts before, and I enjoy that. And I think that would be fun. But yeah, not something I've done with disc golf, unfortunately. Hopefully I will next time I go down to visit my uncle in Utah. The course that's featured in the Utah Open is down there, and I very much want to play it. Calvin Monroe says that his brother from Corvallis says it snowed out there already. Yep, there was snow several places in the west. Montana, it snowed up on Timberline Lodge, at a high point up on Mount Hood, here outside of Oregon, outside of Portland in Oregon. Montana, I think there's some snow in like Idaho and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely already snowing up there. Basically, when the rain comes back down in the valley, usually up in the higher areas, the snow will start even this early in the year, from what I know. Fabian says, hello, Jonathan. I'm having coffee also, light roast. What's your favorite open type course, DGN? Okay, open courses. In this area, there's not a lot that I play that I would consider open, really. Most of them have some degree of trees. Let's think about this. I guess Rooster Rock West is mostly open. There's a couple of holes that are wooded, and you have plenty of trees to navigate, but it's more of an open style course. It's not a wooded course per se. But then the east side, because in the complex of Rooster Rock State Park, there's two different 9-hole courses. There's an east course, and then way on the other side of the park, the west course. They're both 9 holes, and you can play them together as a full 18, and they're vastly different. The west side is much more open, mostly flat, although it has a little bit of elevation change to it, and grassy. And then the east side is super dense woods with a bunch of elevation, including one shot that's super fun, where you're throwing probably 200 feet. It's probably farther down than it is in front of you. It's a really interesting shot. You got to throw, I basically throw a putter nose down and look to crash into the trees right behind the basket and drop in. I've almost aced it a couple times just going straight at it, but if you get it nose up at all, you're going to go nowhere near the basket. It's a really fun shot. But yeah, I would say Rooster Rock West is probably the most open course that I play. The front 9 at Dabney is pretty open as well, and I like that course quite a bit. I play there a lot, but the back 9 is in the woods. So yeah, there's not a lot of courses I play out here that it's just open golf, to be honest. A lot of it's a blend that I can think of, at least. You know, there's not really too many courses I can think of that I would consider open golf. Even Blue Lake has some really tight, narrow corridors on some of the holes, but I don't really play there very often because it just eats plastic for lunch. Every time I've been there, somebody's lost something. Do I play through the winter? Yes. In Portland, Oregon, it does not get very cold, and I will play through the winter. Usually we'll have some days where the sun will pop out, even January, February, December, and it'll be nice, and we'll get out there, and I'll be playing in shorts and a t-shirt. Happens every year. This last year was quite cold and snowy. I didn't play as much as I'd like to, but it definitely happens. Tanner Sherlock, hello, morning. Xander says, I played a Trilogy Challenge this past Sunday. The Deputy was what I thought I'd be most excited about, but it ends up I like my River Pro the most. Resembles my rival. Nice. Have not actually tested the River Pro yet. I have the Pine and the River Pro both in my testing queue, but I just did back-to-back Latitude molds, so I'll probably go to the Pine first and then do the River Pro last, since the Deputy's already out. Calvin says, wow, got to get out your way. It sounds awesome. Yeah, there's some really great courses out here. Pier Park is amazing, but it's definitely wooded. Mile and MacGyver, one of the best courses in the country. We got a lot of great golf to play out here. It's a little bit spread out, and I wish there were more like really close courses. I mean, they're not that far, but it's not like Emporia or something like that where all the courses are right in town. You got to travel outside of Portland a little bit to get to most of them. Pier Park is in town, but for me, even though it's actually closer by mileage, it takes about the same amount of time that it would take for me to get to Milo or Timber Park or any of those type places. Timber Park actually might be the most open course that I play, to be honest. Now I'm thinking about it. Timber Park is quite open. There's only a couple of holes in the woods there. It's like 1, 2, 3. You know, there's a handful of wooded holes there, but it's pretty open. That would probably be the answer, actually, now that I think about it. What's the furthest you've gone for disc golf? Well, the furthest away from home that I've played was in West Virginia, I believe, on a family trip. But in terms of like traveling to play a course, not very long, maybe an hour, a little over an hour or so. Jonathan Schaefer says, just got here sitting in calculus class. Nice.
Oh, man.
School must be a lot different than when I was younger at this point. Rooster Rock sounds cool. I like mixed park type courses with both open and some wooded. Yeah, it's definitely a mix. I mean, it's night and day different. It's actually kind of a shock to the system. It's a little strange because you have to kind of figure out which one you want to start with. And that kind of throws you off a little bit because you can start in the open side and then go into the woods, and it can kind of eat you up a little bit if you're not used to really throwing those narrow lines. And then also you can start in the woods, and then you're a little bit more tired from the hike through the woods when you start the open course, and then all of a sudden you have to throw much farther, and you're like, oh, okay, you know. So it's a little bit tricky depending on how you start it, but it's a great course overall. I don't play it during the summer, the east side that is. I'll play the west side all summer, but I will not play the east side during the summer because it gets so choked with ferns and stuff that it gets really hairy, and you can easily lose plastic back there. So I usually wait to play that course until nice weather in the winter. That's my go-to move for that. What time are we looking at here, guys? I got about 5 minutes left to ramble to you folks. Thanks for stopping by. Got a nice little crowd today, 8 people. Today is Tuesday, Smashbox tonight, I believe. I will be there. I'll definitely be checking out some Smashbox. David Buckley, Grandmaster D here, rain delay, Jackson under 54. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys got a chance to take in the action from the Green Mountain Open or Green Mountain Championships. Tremendous play. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it right now that I think the third round lead card coverage from Jomez is some of the best golf you're going to see all year. I mean, just every shot, amazing putting. Michael Johansson just smashing putts from everywhere outside the circle. Just unbelievable stuff, man. So fun to watch. Really, really impressive. A great group of guys. I mean, it was one of those few times where everybody in contention to win, I would have been happy to see win. You guys know I'm a huge Rick fan, and I was definitely pulling for him. I was a little disappointed that he had some bad breaks and made some mistakes early in the round that kind of took him out of contention, and Doss was just playing so strong. But, you know, Nate Doss, who's upset that Nate Doss won? I mean, the guy is a total class act. Amazing ambassador for our sport, and just seems like the nicest dude. I always rooting for him out at the Beaver State Fling in the early years. Now I'm rooting for Ricky. And Nate hasn't been up on the lead card. Actually, he hasn't even. I don't think he's been at the Beaver State for a couple of years now. But for a few years there, he was right knocking on the door. Only lost by a couple of strokes. Michael Joe, I mean, is just an amazing dude, amazing player. Seems like a super nice guy that nobody has a bad word to say about. And Kale, I mean, it's just a great group of golfers. Amazing play to watch, and I deeply enjoy watching the Green Mountain. It just looks like the most amazing course. I'm super jealous. I would love to be out there, and if there's any way in the world I can afford to try to go out there to watch Worlds next year, I will. I don't see it happening, but I'd really like to. It's just too expensive, I guess. Hi, Kylie. You want to come say hello?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were ready.
No, I'm good. I'm just talking to people. You can come hug me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Fabian says, I've got a Loud 264 Gore-Tex disc golf shoe, sturdy, durable, and good. Review, question mark. Did you hear about Holcomb's last putt at Green Mountain? I'm not sure I did. I just heard that Paige absolutely shredded and shot like 5 down on the last round and put all the pressure on Sarah to finish strong, which is tough stuff. Paige is just a destroyer. She's just breaking hearts the last couple of weeks, man. You feel like you have her put away, leading into that final round with several strokes ahead. And nope, here she comes. She's going to outplay you that final round so severely that you lose. Did it to Val at Vibram, now did it to Sarah Holcomb. Just when she's firing on all cylinders, I just don't think there's anyone that can hang with her in her division, like at all. Even Katrina at her best at this point, I really don't think can handle Paige. I mean, she's just throwing such amazing shots. Her putting is so consistent. When you watch women's coverage, I'm always kind of shocked at how many short putts are missed, I always felt like that would be more the part of the women's game that kind of set them apart from the lower people in their division, is that they hit more putts inside the circle. But you see a lot of like short putts messed up, to be honest, and you don't see a lot of that from Paige. She's really consistent inside the circle, and even if she's missing a putt, it's a little low, a little high, but it's right there, and she's just so hard to deal with, man. It's amazing. Jonathan says he'll be there for Smashbox, tuning in after league tonight. As far as the Gore-Tex Loud 264 shoes, a shoe review is not something I've done here on my channel. There's only so many disc golf related shoes out there, and they're somewhat expensive. If anyone would like to sponsor a review for that, like if any manufacturer reached out to me and wanted me to check them out or showcase them on the channel, I'd be more than happy to do so. One other issue with that, with me personally, is that I wear a 14 wide up to about a 15, depending on... I'm back. I wear a 14 wide shoe up to a 15 in some brands. I just bought a new pair of, I think like Saucony or something, running shoes from just recently to have some lighter weight, kind of nice weather disc golf shoes, because my other ones are Gore-Tex or heavy duty like New Balance hiking shoes with Gore-Tex in them. They are not that great for when it's dry and warm out. So I finally pulled the trigger on another pair of shoes, and they're actually a 15 to get them to fit me. Just on a side tangent, how anyone with like large feet, like a basketball player, football player, any of those guys can ever fit into a pair of Nikes, I don't understand it, because I've never found a pair of Nikes that my feet will go into. Even 15s, and I think I've even tried on a 16 in Nikes, and they wouldn't fit me. They're just so skinny and long. I don't know whose feet are shaped like that. It's very, very odd. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. But yeah, that's part of the issue with me doing shoe reviews is do they even come in my size? Keens, I'm fairly certain do. Keens do come in wider sizes and that sort of thing, so that's good. And I would like to get a pair of Keens eventually. I just don't spend a lot of money on disc golf shoes, and I usually go to New Balance just because I know they have the nice wide width. They last me quite a while. They have good waterproof kind of hiking options with good ankle support, which is nice for me. But I'm hoping to play more golf in these new like lighter weight running shoes that I got, and see what effect that has on my body. Something maybe a little bit more cushion to it, and also just a little lighter weight on my feet. Sometimes by the end of the round, my feet just feel like I've been carrying weights on them the whole time with those New Balances. They're pretty big and clunky, and yeah, they're a little rough. We'll see. All right, guys, I got like 4 minutes, so if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, let them rip right now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Jonathan Schaefer uses indoor soccer shoes. I have played rounds like that as well this summer. I have a pair of old pair of Adidas Sambas. They're like a 14 or so that fit me pretty good from playing a lot of just kicking soccer balls around on tennis courts and stuff like that with friends. We used to play soccer tennis, and I'll use those for any time I'm playing soccer. Really, I don't wear cleats too often, but I don't kick around a soccer ball as much as I used to. I kind of replaced that with disc golf in my life. But I have played rounds in those. I just feel like they don't have enough support. They're so flat on the bottom, and there's like no shock absorption for me that I feel like I'm doing more damage on my knees and stuff with like no like shock absorption whatsoever. It's just flat, solid bottom, you know. Oh, fumble again. All right, guys. So, thanks very much for stopping by. I appreciate all your support. Come hang out on Smashbox tonight. I should be on the live stream later. And let's potentially have some friends that I might meet up with after work. Kind of doubt it, but it's possible. So, most likely I will be there for Smashbox hanging out. And hopefully I'll run into some of you folks there. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all your support. Check out my Trooper review from Dynamic Disc. It just dropped this morning or late last night. And look for the new review / giveaway Friday morning for Fresh Plastic Friday. Much love, everybody. I will check you all very soon. Cheers.